All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to OOpS, the show where I've been told all my life that I'm overly opinionated about something, so I made a podcast in order to talk about things that I'm overly opinionated about. Let's get into it. Do 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 do. Today's episode is sponsored by my friend who uh, basically wanted me to continue this podcast. And I appreciate that she wanted me to continue this podcast because I've just been trying to get a couple of things situated for the past couple of days, and it's nice to just do something silly and stupid for a little bit. um, so, for the first little topic that I wanted to talk about today, um, I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, which is my like purpose or like who I am as a person, which I know is such a big topic about that everyone thinks about. But for me, personally, the majority of my life, I've always been my main purpose has always been to help someone else or be there for someone else or like go off of what someone else needs or wants. And I'm finding that so terribly hard to deal with during the pandemic and things like that because so many people um, have their own stuff going on, and I don't even think that um, what I'm doing makes me lonely. Like that, not being around people makes me lonely. I'm not necessarily alone. Uh, I don't mind being alone, but I think the big part of it is I don't have anything that's innately mine anymore because the majority of things I've ever cared about have come from other people, whether it be through family or friends or anything like that. So, right now, the other day, I currently wrote down like 3 pages worth of stuff that I thought defined me or something that I wanted to do for the New Year's. Um, oh, yeah, by the way, it's January 3rd. Um, Happy New Year's. I didn't upload anything for a while because I've been busy with stuff. But yeah, that was something that I thought I could do in order to figure out like, things that are unique about me, I guess. But everything I found that I was writing was kind of just so I could impress other people, I guess, like subconsciously or um, for example, I really wanted to try and get into tea. And I think I'm like kind of getting into it. There's only a few teas that I really like, but I have so much now because that's what people gave me for Christmas. But I I don't really think I'm still a tea person yet. Like I make tea every day, like a couple times a day, but it's just I make the same tea over and over again because I'm too scared to drink any other ones. Who knows? I'm gonna try and things like that. What I mean in that, you know, making myself look good, I guess, in front of other people is having something that is normal that most people would like, I guess. Because I guess in some way that's like some normalcy that I have to bring with to someone else so I can feel like them, I guess. I don't know. Um, and the truth is I'm just having such a hard time figuring out what I am about or what I'm all about. And um, I hate to, if you know me in real life, then you know that I really, really right now want to go back abroad. Um, and I think maybe that's for a little bit of maybe not childish, but not good reason or not worth it reasons maybe. I don't even know if that makes sense because even then, it's worth it to me and it's not worth it to someone else. So who am I to say if it's worth it to me? Um, but I really, really want to go back abroad because I think some of the happiest times of my entire life were when I was abroad because I was constantly by myself, but I wasn't lonely like I am now, if that makes sense. I was able to do things that I wanted for me. Now, I put on clothes that I don't really see anybody, so I don't really get to wear fun clothes anymore. And I think that was something that I really enjoyed doing for myself because it gave me a way to, like, have an outward expression, I guess, of how I feel on the inside. And I also really enjoyed trying different foods all the time. And because I'm by myself, I can't really, and do that without, not spending money, wasting money. But if I'm with someone else, it's kind of more fun to do it that way rather than to just, by myself cooking a meal that no one else can enjoy. Um, but I guess even still, those are things that I'm allowing some other types of some other people to allow myself to enjoy it. One of the things that I talked about with friends is that I feel like I can't enjoy the things I used to enjoy because no one's allowing me to enjoy them. Where I have to, the only way I can find enjoyment is if someone else allows me to have the enjoyment. And that's something that I'm trying to figure out and struggle with now. But I guess it's okay. The biggest thing is that I've been trying to have a routine, um, but I feel like the routine is kind of pointless because it's just biding my time until the days in which I could graduate and then maybe go abroad. But even still, what if I don't get to go abroad? So I've just been wasting my own time, and I have to, and then and that puts me into like a spiral of like, well, in order to not waste my time, I have to find the things that I truly care about. But the things I truly care about, I can't find here. There's nothing here that's really keeping me here except for people. And because I can't be with those people anymore, what's the point, I think that's really tough for everyone during the pandemic to deal with. So I apologize if it makes me sound like so sad for to listen to, because there's just so much going on all the time. Um, but I hope the new year will bring some really good stuff for people to enjoy, and I really hope a lot more people will get to live their lives as the way they want to, rather than, I guess, maybe what I'm doing. All right, well, that was my pity party for the first like 10 minutes or something. Give me just a quick second and I'll find the next thing to talk about, something to get me riled up and angry or something. Okay, I found something. I want to talk about like if I was on a different plane of existence, what I would love to do. So the first way I got this idea was I was reading, I think like Trials of Apollo, which is like in the Percy Jackson series. Um, and at the beginning of the book or something like that, maybe it was a fan fiction, I don't remember. I was reading something and then he was talking to the main guy, Apollo, was talking to Percy or something like that. And he told him, he was like, do you not enjoy, transforming yourself and becoming the light in the dawn as the dawn approaches, like the molecules of light that comes in as the dawn approaches, and then the crazy shit like that where it's like things that seem so mystical and magical that I would love for that to be my existence rather than this existence as a earthly body. Um, and I have thought about that too, of like astral projecting and things like that. Like that's a new thing that people are talking about. Um, but I don't even, so okay, like what it boils down to is your mind, right? And your mind allowing you or not allowing you to access these ideas or imagination or things like that because you're not allowing yourself to do so. The same way goes for how you perceive a situation and how you react to a situation. Of course, if it's not like a fight or flight instinct, then you have time to process, or at least a little bit of time to process and think about something before you do something next, and how you choose to accept it. And I wanted to, I've always wanted to like think about if I could go somewhere else, where would I even go? And that's what I want to talk about. Things like that, like the ability to experience something outside of the human way, because I've been experiencing humanity for 20 years and I'm done with it. Wherever, whatever celestial being I was a part of, if I was like a molecule or something, I would much rather go back to being that than rather live in this humanity and live as a human. Um, like to be a spirit, to be able to be free, to be able to not have to think that I'm only a part of the here and now, where I can just be anywhere and anything. Not like I could just be free. And I think that's really what I want. But even then, that goes into a whole nother issue of, well, if I was a spirit, right, and I was able to do anything I quote quote wanted, how would I know what I would want to do? Because, you know, for example, like when people think of heaven, they think like, oh, well, I'll probably, lie on the beach every day and be in the warm sunlight or whatever. But if you've never experienced that, or if you've never gotten to do that sort of thing in your human life, then how would you know you want that? So, like, if I was like a spirit or whatever, how would I even know that that's something that I would want? It's only because I'm a human now that I realize I don't want to be a human. um, that's something really interesting to think about, that I think about a lot. If I could not be a human, what would I be? And even if I was a different thing, how would I live? Would I not live? Would I exist? Would I not exist? It's all very interesting that I think about on the daily for no reason at all. Excuse me. Sorry, I had a yawn. But yeah, that's what I want to think about. Okay, now for the next topic. I think this episode is just going to be a little bit of like, I don't even know, like a pity party, sad to say, because there's not really anything else in my mind that I would like to talk about besides the things that I'm currently facing right now. Um, I don't really feel energized to be angry or petty about anything. I don't think I have the energy to put forth enough hatred to find something to hate right now. Okay, so for the next little bit, I was thinking about, what if the pandemic wasn't here and I would live like a quote quote like my normal life. Um, like I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and everyone you meet is for a reason. Everything you go through is for a reason. But I don't know if I would have been happier if the pandemic wasn't a thing. I've been very fortunate that no one I've known who's gotten COVID has passed away yet. Knock on wood. Do do do. Um, but I feel like I probably would have been happier if it didn't happen, because although I think I would have not grown as a person as much, and I wouldn't have as much self growth and self-love for myself, I feel like it would have been I would have remained blissfully ignorant of things that could go on in my life, that had a purpose, because I think that I would have been able to remain the way I was in a way that I didn't have to be thinking so much all the time about everything, because I was always preoccupied by something. And now that I'm not necessarily preoccupied by anything except for school or anything, I just have one goal in mind. Um, I'm too concerned about everything all at once rather than dealing with things as they come along. Because ultimately, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to achieve something, and I can't achieve that thing unless I lay out all these things all at once, or I take each step, like I lay out all the steps that I need to do. And if the pandemic proves anything, is that steps can get upheaved, and you want things to go one way, but it doesn't, and that's okay. But I do think that I would have been happier if the pandemic wasn't around, because I think it would have allowed me to view my friendships differently, or view my not have my friendships viewed differently, because I have lost a lot of friendships, sadly, during this pandemic, because we just don't see eye to eye on certain things, and that's okay. We don't have to. Certain friends of mine, um, but it's sad because I think that for a lot of my friendships, like I said before, I was always the one that was giving to them and letting them, doing everything for them and making my whole life about them. And when I wasn't able to do that for them, like I wasn't able to go and meet them or go and do this for them or go and, they, I guess, saw me as betraying them. But I guess maybe in a way I was, but I don't think I was, because I was just doing it to be like nice, and that's how I thought friendship should be. But I guess now it's not that way anymore between a lot of people. um, and I wonder, if the pandemic wasn't a thing, how I would still be able to enjoy certain moments with them, or have certain moments where I felt appreciated. But even maybe back then, maybe I was just creating my own appreciation. Like maybe they just really didn't, but maybe I was just thinking it all up in my head. Um, I don't know. I really do treasure every moment, though. Even before the pandemic happened, I truly did learn throughout my life to treasure every single moment as it comes by. And I think, to be honest, that's also kind of like a curse that happens right now during the pandemic for me, because I'm trying to treasure every single moment. It makes the days insanely long. For example, I woke up around 10 today, and it's 5 now, or maybe 6 now in the afternoon. And I feel like I've been awake for 5 days straight, but I've only been awake for 7 hours. Um, and I think back to what I could accomplish in 7 hours if the pandemic wasn't here. I would probably, I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess, the world has a funny way of making you realize things without telling you. Um, that's okay though. But that's another thing, because I feel like I treasure the moment too much. I appreciate it so much that it's not appreciated, if that makes sense. Like I truly try and value it, but because I try and value it, I feel like it loses its value, which is another weird thing another weird thing where I think that because I'm allowing how someone else might perceive the moment to judge how I perceive the moment, that I feel that I'm not able to enjoy it to its core value, but I'm only able to view it in my in a non-personable value. That makes sense. Like, um, if it was, for example, um, my birthday happens during Christmas time, around Christmas time and New Year's and things like that. So my entire life has always been people trying to give me stuff, and it happens to be Christmas presents or whatever. Even as a kid, I didn't really care about presents. I always cared about being with people more. But the thing is that I couldn't really enjoy it because I was always taught to perceive having a birthday as everyone is about it always being about you. But even in regular life, and even on my birthday, I don't want it to be about me. It's because I don't enjoy the attention. I don't enjoy having people, do stuff for me, like do work hand over foot for me. But even though that's not what they're doing, like even baking a cake for me, or bringing me to this place or driving me somewhere, I feel like that's just too much. And I feel like I'm not able to appreciate that because I'm always thinking that I should appreciate it because that's what regular people would do. Um, and so I'm not able to really value it because I'm always thinking that this is how I should. rather than how I actually am. If, for example, my birthday happened, I feel like if I go back and think about it, I value it completely different than how it actually happened. For example, like in my entire birthday, I could have had a huge birthday party, you know, like tons of people and had amazing food or anything or all that, but I wouldn't care about all that. The thing I would care about most would be at the end of the day when didn't have to see anybody. And that's not because I didn't value them in the moment. It's because it happened that I know how grateful I am that they're there for me, that I can enjoy being alone. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's a lot to think about. And also my friend a couple days ago, she told me, she was like, Ethan, you have to get out of your own head. You're not that important. And I should think about that more often, because I know I'm not important, and I love being not important. I I had my roommate come back yesterday or the other day, and he was talking to me about how, like, you know, this group of people that he knows doesn't like me because of something I did and said, and I'm like, good, fuck them, I don't care. It's not my job to appease them. I've only met them once in my life. I don't give a fuck about them. They're you know, like, I don't, like, what are they gonna do for me? Nothing. What am I gonna do for them? Nothing. Um, and so it's those moments in life where, like, I feel like that's my true character, I guess, where you have to not define yourself by other people. But it's so crazy because without the people there in the first place, how could you define yourself? It's so crazy. And even then, I always think about, like, okay, well, you're not that important, Ethan. You shouldn't be thinking about these types of things. You should just go and enjoy your life. The part where I need to enjoy my life is usually defined by how others enjoy their life. So I have to market or mirror how they enjoy their life for my own life. And I can't enjoy it the way I want to, because if I enjoy it the way I want to, then it's not life. It's a different thing, apparently. And I guess that's just oof. That just grinds my gears. Um, I guess for the last part, this is what I'll be petty about. For those listening, just to get to the petty part, I'll message you whenever the whole video airs, and I'll tell you to skip to this part in order to listen to the pettiness. So, I am so fucking done with people calling me depressed. And, like, I'm so done with that. I'm so done with people calling me sad and depressed, because it is not your goddamn business to do that. You might care about me. That's wonderful and I appreciate it. But I'm not depressed. If I was depressed, y'all would know, because I would be dead. If I was depressed, then you would all know, because I wouldn't be here anymore. Because I'm out, you know, like, if I, like, the second something happens and I'm able to out, I'm out. If I this is a PSA to use in, like, court or whatever, right? Like, Ethan Hodge, right? Ethan Hodge, state in this moment right now that if I am ever put on life support, to pull me off. Pull me off. I do not want to be around after almost dying. I don't care, even if there's nothing afterlife. I do not want to be here anymore. And here's the thing about that. That's not a just now statement. I have been like that since I was a child. Since the first moment I could remember that I did not want to exist on this fucking planet was being a child. And I remember it because what I was doing was I was, like, playing, right? And I remember I was, like, watching a movie or, like, listening to, I remember I put a CD in a CD player, right? And I listened to one of the songs on it. And then the second I listened to that song, I realized my humanity, in the sense of, like, wow, I'm a being listening to music. I can hear it, but I don't want to. Like, why am I doing this? And that's the first second I realized that I was a human stuck in this fucking place. And from that moment on, I was depressed as fuck. I think literally the next 2 days after that, here's my sequence of events as like a toddler of this happening. I put the CD in the CD player. I listened to it and I realized, holy shit, I'm a thing listening to music. What is this? How is this possible? What am I doing here? What is going on? And then the next memory from after that I can remember is me staying up for like 3 days straight because I just didn't want to sleep anymore. And from that point on, I just started to overthink everything for my entire life. And then the next memory after that, I remember I guess this is kind of fucking serial killerish or whatever. After the 2 or 3 days where I was awake as a toddler for not going to sleep as like a toddler, I took a stapler, and I guess maybe I watched a show where someone like got their finger like hurt or pressed on or something, or maybe like someone like stubbed their finger. I don't know, something. I wanted to see if I was actually real or like a fucking real human. So I took a stapler and I pressed it down on my finger to see what would happen, and it fucking hurt. And I was like, wow, I guess I'm here. I guess I really am here. Shit. And then that's what happened. And ever since then, it's not gone downhill because it was already downhill. I'm already at the bottom of the hill. I've been at the bottom of the hill. And so I hate when people are like, you're depressed. I'm not. That's just my existence. I have always been like this. It is not something I can change because I've tried to change. And because of people trying to make me change, I have to go to therapy. And for me to be myself, people don't like that. And it's not even like it's not even like people, like nobody is gonna, give you credit for you being you. You have to give yourself credit. I don't even need their credit, but apparently I do. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. Oh God, I don't even know what to do. Oh yeah, I'm not depressed. If I was depressed, you would know because I'd be dead. And that's the thing. I really, really hate when my family or friends are always like, God, Ethan, you're so like depressing. After I say something like, here, for example, like, this is just for an example. Like we could be walking in the mall sometime, and then someone would like, some random guy would like, I don't know, do something. We would see like some guy at the end of the mall, and he would do something, and I would just go, that's just disgusting. Why do people have to do this? This is why I want to die. And then and then people get angry at me for saying that. And I'm like, just let me live. Like it's disgusting. Like if a guy like tries to like flirt with a girl or something in front of me, I'm just like, God, like, why do people have to just be so human and nasty? Like, can't you just not try and do that? Like, here's the thing about that though. Here's something I've realized since being a child from that moment, is that like people do things for no reason and expect all of the reason to do it. Let's just unpack this for a second, because like people will do something for no reason and then act like every reason gave it to them for them to do. And I don't understand that about humanity. There's so many things where I'm like, if you literally had waited 2 milliseconds and put 3%, maybe even 1% more thought into what you're about to say or do, then you would have not had to deal with all of the consequences of what you just had. And the thing about that is, like, those consequences are not like experience-based consequences where you can grow and learn from them. They're just perpetually making your life harder for no reason, and then for you to complain about them and then make your life more hard. It's a cycle. And even as a child, I realized that. And a while back, I was talking to my mother about this, and I was like, "This is the cycles that people keep going through." And that's when she said something along the lines of like, "Ethan, why are you so depressed? Like, why do you keep doing this? Like, why do you always talk about this lame stuff?" And I'm like, "It's not lame things if it's true. Like, why? I'm not the one doing these things. It's other people. I got my own shit going on. I don't want to have to deal with people's shit, but I got to because everyone else is around me, and I'm a people pleaser, and I put myself in those situations, and it's a loop." Clearly, I'm not the one with the problem. Clearly. So yeah. And from that, I just want to be, I just want to exist as a being, not as a human being or like a thing. I want to exist as an it, you know, like a void, or like a piece of a molecule or a star fragment, or like a fucking rock. Like, I don't want to have any character. I don't want to have any type of connection to anything else. I just want to exist outside of any plane of understanding. That's all. Because once I enter a plane of understanding, like how humans operate, you get disappointed. Here's the thing. I will end it with this. If I was a judge, right? I think about this all the goddamn time. If you see in movies where like characters do something bad and they have to save the human race, and the aliens come and they're like, well, you didn't do this, and so we're judging humanity and you all failed, so we're gonna kill you all. And then they like did something to finally change, and they're like, the aliens are like, oh yeah, well, you changed, so here you go, you can get the thing you wanted to do in the first place. If I was a judge for humanity, I think about this all the time. If I was a judge, and at the end of my life here on this planet, like God or the universe or whatever asked me, and they were like, Ethan, do you think humanity should continue? I would straight up say no. Not to be petty, yes, I would straight up say no. But I honestly don't think that humans are worthy of anything they are given. Because once they are given that thing, they completely destroy it. And they act like they didn't destroy it. And then, but the beautiful thing about humans then too is because it was destroyed, they create a new thing. And then they value that thing more than the thing that they destroyed. It's fucking crazy. It's mental. It's endless cycles and loops. And as a being outside of these cycles and loops, which I hope to be when I die, I just don't know. If I had a judge, I would say no, kill them all. Because although humanity is beautiful and very unique, one of a kind, blah, 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 all that bullshit, I don't think we deserve anything. I don't think we deserve anything we got. I don't think that we should continue living as a species unless we redefined our whole life. But the thing is, because humans are so like communicative creatures and that we rely on one another to learn about things and to share information and blah blah blah, there will always be someone else or some like to ruin it for everyone. And because we're all in it together, quote quote, then that one person ruins it all for us. I don't know. These are the things I think about. So yeah, main thing, if I die, let me die. If I get shot, don't try and pull the bullet out. Don't try and stop the bleeding. I will push your hand. If I get shot, right? If I'm like saving someone and like say like went in front of a bullet and like whatever, don't try and save me. Leave me on that ground to die. In fact, go away. Like I didn't stop the bullet for you. I stopped the bullet for me. Because like this is not a depressed like suicidal thing. This is just like I'm done. Like I told you, I'm done. I'm out. Like if I had to stop a bullet, I stopped it not because of you, but because I thought I could, and then I did it and I died and I'm done. But the difference is like if I have to go through a lot of pain, then it better be quick, because like if I get stabbed and like the stab wound just like takes forever to like kill me, then I might as well just throw myself off the bridge and do it and kill myself, because I'm not about that life. That's the thing about a zombie apocalypse. If a zombie apocalypse happens, I'm killing myself the first day. I will take that big ass knife in my kitchen and I will slit my own throat. I don't give a fuck, because I am not about to sit here and wait for everything else to happen and then for me to just enter a situation. Here's the thing about humanity that I don't understand. I swear to God, I must have been on a different fucking planet before I was reborn and rebirthed into this fucking species, because why would you continue to keep doing things and why do people want to live? That's what I don't get it. There is no value in continuing life for humans. because we have so many other things that stop us from living the life. Like if I was like a fucking like bear or something out in the wilderness, all I need to do is eat and sleep, and that's it. And because we're humans, we value so much stupid shit that we don't have to, and it just degrades us as a species. And oh my god, that's why I would say kill all the humans. Do it, kill them all. And I better be the first to go. Oh my god, I can't even believe I'm so done with humanity. But here's the thing though, because of the pandemic, I don't want people to die and suffer, because suffering is just sad. Like if they're gonna die, just die. Um, like like I'm not heartless. Like, you know, like if I was to die, I don't want to suffer and die. Here's the thing about dying. People are like, oh, I don't want to die. I was like, no, it's not that you don't want to die. It's because you don't want to experience pain and then die. Because dying is a natural thing. Pain is not a natural thing, except for some cases, I think. But like, anyway, that's my rant. It was more of a rant at the end, but I'll let whoever know who wants to listen to it at the end. All right, I'm leaving. Bye.